This is London Tonight with Ben Scotchbrook.
Good evening to you. It is the biggest street party in Europe. Hundreds of thousands of people will head to Notting Hill this weekend to dance and party. Just dance and party, it is hoped. Authorities decided the two-day carnival would go ahead despite the recent riots because they felt cancelling it would have damaged London's image and economy. But in light of the trouble 3 weeks ago, and bearing in mind the carnival has seen its own serious problems before, few deny there is a risk, which is why the police operation this year will be bigger than ever, as Phil Bales reports.
The sound of things to come, but come the weekend, it'll be multiplied many times over. Notting Hill basks in peace, but not for long. These streets cleared by rain will soon be packed. Chic Westbourne Grove will be transformed into a mass pageant. Every year the traders prepare for the worst.
This is not the aftermath of a riot. This is quite normal for this weekend in August. The boards are going up to protect the windows of another boutique here. It's a precaution, and the traders here are prepared to give up a couple of days' takings just to be safe.
In residential streets, they pray the only riot will be one of colour. High, sturdy fences form a barricade protecting gardens and parks from revellers. Residents take the day off, as they have for years, to erect their own barriers.
Just to make sure that they don't use the frontages as waste paper bins and toilets.
What would happen to the gardens, for instance, if you didn't do this?
They just get trashed, they're full of rubbish. The council do a fantastic job clearing it overnight. As Russell said, it's not so much the rubbish, it becomes an open toilet for everyone.
The walls rattle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything in the cupboards rattles, everything rattles.
You either live with it or you die with it, so I prefer to live, right? And therefore, the only way is to make a positive contribution, even in a physical thing like this, and you feel as if you've got a bit more control over your personal life.
Attendance for the 2 days has soared from 720,000 in 2009 to 1 million the following year. So have police numbers, up to 10,000 shifts in 2009, up again in 2010, and now more than 12,000 will police the event.
There are some issues to do with local gangs who sometimes try and use Notting Hill as a place to have a dispute, but by and large the police have got that under control. They've mounted their operation before Carnival to deal with those people, so we're reasonably confident.
Understandably, traders are taking nothing for granted. Phil Bales, London Tonight, Notting Hill.
The police operation targeting the carnival, codenamed Razorback, has been running since the beginning of the month. And when I spoke to the Met's Commander Steve Rodhouse a little earlier, I put it to him that with thousands more officers on duty this year, the police are obviously worried that things could go wrong.
Well, this year we do recognise that Carnival is taking place in the shadow of the disorder we've seen across London. And I think it's only sensible that we've reviewed our plans. That's what we've done. And you're right, we have put more police officers on duty, not just in and around the Notting Hill and the Carnival itself, but also across London. So I think that's a sensible move in the circumstances.
We've been told that around 35 people have already been arrested as part of Operation Razorback. Why did you arrest those people before the event itself? Had you heard that they were plotting? What they were doing?
Well, a key part of our plan for this year's Carnival, as it has in previous years, is to make sure that troublemakers who want to cause difficulties at the Carnival are not able to get there. So Operation Razorback is just part of that plan. As you say, more than 35 arrests have been made of people we know wanted to create trouble at the Carnival, and we've used a range of other tactics to prevent them from getting to Carnival in the first place.
But you're aware then that they were actually plotting and encouraging people to come together to make trouble at the Carnival?
Well, no, these were people who we were investigating for a range of other offences, and what we've done is time those investigations to ensure that those individuals are not able to cause difficulties at Carnival, but I should stress they were already being investigated for other matters.
This is the first big test of the Met since the riots, and as well as criticism over the number of police officers on the street, there were The public were suggesting that perhaps the Met hadn't been robust enough. So during the Carnival, will you be encouraging your officers to react a little harder, shall we say, and a little quicker?
No, the look and feel of this year's policing of the Carnival will be very similar to in previous years. The Met weren't timid during the disorder. Our officers were brave and courageous and dealt with what they could at the time. But as we know, those were unprecedented scenes that we saw in London. Our officers did great things, and I expect them to do great things in Carnival this year.
Commander Steve Rodhouse, thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.
Commander Steve Rodhouse braving the weather to speak to me a short time ago. And a little later, we'll be hearing